Okay, before I get into this review, I just want to say, I don't know if it was just my theater. Normally I go to AMC, but for this movie I went to Harkins, and I don't know if it's just this theater or just happened to be this showing, but there was a lot of people running up and down throughout the movie. You know, I don't know, taking restroom breaks or whatever. Just for all you out there, just try to go to the restroom before the movie. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Flicking Things. My name is Daniel, and today we're going to be reviewing Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. So, I was actually, I know this is a late review, but I was actually on vacation, so I didn't get a chance to put a review. But now that I'm finally back, I'm just going to do a quick thoughts. You know, I'm not going to really dive deep into it, you know, because other YouTubers, they have their own videos out there, so you can go ahead and check those out. But I just want to give you my thoughts on the movie. And so this movie is coming off the heels of Spider-Man No Way Home. I just want to say, going back to No Way Home, when all the rumors are coming, you know, swirling, you know, as far as like who's going to show up in that movie and who wasn't, and hearing that they're going to bring back, you know, Green Goblin, Doc Ock. I know a lot of studios use that to get people into the, you know, in the seats, and a lot of people call it nostalgia bait. And I'm not, for me, I don't like nostalgia bait. I don't fall for that. I'm not a sucker for that.
For me, it's just about the money.
Happy to pay the bills, Otto.
But when it came to Spider-Man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, here, take my money. I don't care. I just want to see Doc Ock, you know, Green Goblin. I just didn't care. So with Sony and Disney delivering on that hype when it came to Spider-Man No Way Home, a lot of people started getting hyped for this movie, you know, because it involved you know, the multiverse and everything. So everyone's like, okay, who else is gonna show up? You know, there's rumors that, you know, a lot of X-Men were gonna show up, you know, Deadpool. So the expectations were pretty high for this movie. I myself wasn't hyped for this movie. I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep my expectations low. I only watched the first trailer, which was the one that they showed at the end of No Way Home. So I just kept, my expectations were pretty like low. I was like, all right, I'm just going to go into this movie. And I heard, you know, Sam Raimi is going to direct it. So I was like, all right, you know, I'm all in, but I'm not going to get all hyped up on the, you know, on the hype train. Jumping into this movie. So yeah, I actually enjoyed this movie. I really did. I'm not going to lie. Sam Raimi definitely delivers in the horror aspect. The soundtrack, Danny Elfman, I thought was great. Honestly, I think this is the best soundtrack since Infinity War. As far as, you know, the score and everything, I thought it was great. And like I said, Sam Raimi, his horror, you know, and a lot of like campiness and, you know, the stuff that he does, you know, with I don't want to get into spoilers, but you know, there was a montage that, you know, where it had like a guitar riff and everything, and I was like, yes, I was like, I recognize that style, you know, especially from the first Spider-Man that he directed, and I thought that was pretty awesome. The action scenes were pretty great. Actually, this movie is actually fast paced from beginning to end. But there were some moments where it slows down, and I'll get into that in a moment. I think that kind of ties into the stuff that I didn't like, because this movie is so fast paced, and like I said, straight from the beginning, you're like in the action. So yeah, just I did like the, like I said, I did like the action and everything. So I guess I'll jump into the flaws right now. Since this movie is like really fast paced, there is moments where it just goes like from 100 to like 10, you know, and it slows down, and I was getting kind of bored, especially in the middle of the movie. There was like this exposition. Doctor Strange and America Chavez, they're going through this one multiverse, and then they try to give a little backstory into America Chavez's character. You know, I guess tries to give her some story that you can relate to. I was just like, I mean, like, this felt like a detour, like a you know, I guess like in a if you're talking in video game terms, like a side quest, and it's not the main story. It was just something that, I don't know, that kind of like put me off in the movie. And I guess that I'll talk about the characters themselves. One major flaw, well, actually, it's kind of a big flaw for me in the movie. A lot of the characters don't have a lot of development. Starting with America Chavez, I feel like she's thrown into the movie, like literally, like in the beginning. I wouldn't consider this a spoiler, but she's thrown into this movie, and You really don't know much about her until, like I said, in the middle of the movie where they try to give some backstory. But at that point, I was like, I was more invested into what was going on in the actual story than her character. I don't know. I just didn't like the way they handled her character. I really didn't care about her character. And it does have, especially in a lot of moments, like when they're in intense scenes, there's like a lot of quips with her, a lot of jokes that didn't land, and it kind of like brought the intensity down. It's like, okay, like I feel like she's not really in danger. You know, that kind of pulls me out. You know, the whole Marvel comedy and everything. But yeah, like I said, her character, I couldn't connect with her at all. It was just like I felt like she was just a one note character. And like I said, in the middle of the movie, they tried to give her a backstory, and it just didn't work for me. And there is a little bit of controversy as far as Doctor Strange and Wanda. A lot of people are saying like, oh, this is a Wanda movie. Oh no, this is a Doctor Strange movie. I would say it's maybe 60% Doctor Strange, 40% Wanda as far as like whose movie it is. There is a lot of Doctor Strange. I feel like, you know, he's the main protagonist, obviously, which is good. I know there's been a lot of bait and switch when it comes to the TV shows, like especially Hawkeye, where the show is called Hawkeye, but it was really about Kate Bishop, and I did not like that at all. Low key, I felt like he was kind of taking a back seat to I forgot the girl's name, other character, the other Loki, the girl Loki. So I was a little worried about that. Okay, like, is it gonna be fully just like straight up like a bait and switch, and you know, oh, it's gonna be a Wanda movie and not Doctor Strange? But I'm happy to say that it is a Doctor Strange movie. Wanda does take a big chunk of the movie because she is established in the MCU. I don't want see. I'm trying to like not give spoilers away, so I don't want to get deep into it. I would say this is definitely a Doctor Strange movie. Now getting into Doctor Strange and WandaVision, I'll start with Doctor Strange. There's really no character development with him as well. In fact, all the characters, like I said, there's no character development. They're just like, it's just basically from getting from point A to point B. But Doctor Strange, I mean, they try to bring back Christine, the character Christine Palmer, who's played by Rachel McAdams. They try to bring her back in to give him some sort of like, I don't know, I guess love interest again, and try to, you know, help make you connect with him, you know, connect with his character. But I don't know, it just didn't work for me. Because if you think about it, Doctor Strange, you know, besides his first movie, throughout the MCU, he's been making cameos. So I thought this would have been a perfect opportunity to further develop his character, but they just really don't. I just really wish they would really developed his character further, you know, further. So yeah, and going into Wanda, again, I feel like her character development, she had one goal, and that was it, and that was it for the rest of the movie. I did like, well, I actually I can't say because it's a spoiler, but I'll just leave it at that. But overall, I did enjoy this movie. So overall, like I said, I really enjoyed this movie, despite its flaws and despite the character development that, you know, that I talked about with all the characters. I really enjoyed this movie. It's not, you know, it's not like a great, perfect movie, but it does give you enough to chew on, I guess you would say, for until the next MCU movie. Like I said, I love the action. I love the horror. I guess, yeah, I would say that's the best part of the movie that I like. There's a lot of horror elements into it, in it, and a lot of, well, I would say for a Disney movie, there's a lot of violence in it. I'm actually surprised that they went pretty, you know, deep with the violence. I was really shocked and surprised. Like, there's not gore. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to make you think that there's a lot of gore. There's definitely not a lot of gore, but there is a lot of violence and a lot of, well, especially for a Disney movie. That's what, like, I guess took me off guard, because we haven't seen this type of violence in a Disney Marvel movie at all, ever. I would say this is probably the most violent Disney movie. So yeah, like I said, these are just my quick thoughts on the movie. I enjoyed it. I'd highly recommend this movie. But just like I said, keep your expectations, you know, low, because if you're on that hype, you know, expecting all these characters show up, you know, I'm not gonna say who shows up and who doesn't, but I would say if you're like expecting all those characters to show up, you're probably going to be disappointed. So I'm going to give this movie 3 out of 5 multiverses. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for, I am reacting to Moon Knight. but this is my first time doing reaction videos, and it is kind of hard to get past the copyright strikes. I've been getting a lot of those. I've been checking on YouTube, trying to figure out how can I get past that, because what happens, I'll post it and then it gets completely blocked and I have to dispute it. And it takes, last time it took like 4 or 5 days just to get the second episode. I'm trying to figure that out. I've been on YouTube looking at videos, trying to figure out, okay, how can I get past all that? But stay tuned for that. I got Obi-Wan coming up, and hopefully I don't get any copyright strikes for that. That's going to be Tuesday night. So I'm excited for that. And I'm also going to be watching Top Gun. So stay tuned for that review. I'm definitely excited for that movie. That should be, I'm not sure if I'm going to see the early screening or not, which is Tuesday. So hopefully I get to see that movie Tuesday. I'm trying to aim for that, but if not, I'll see you on Thursday, and I'll have the review up by Friday. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting week. Stay tuned, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you later.